All right, let's dive into something that's, well, it's a pretty wild and controversial new idea. You know that digital world we've all built? The one that feels, kind of limitless and free? Well, it might be about to get a whole lot more expensive. We're talking about something called the digital jungle tax. I love this quote because it perfectly captures the metaphor we're going to be exploring today. Think about it. The digital jungle. For years, right, we've all been swinging through this jungle, grabbing what felt like free bananas, creating digital art, minting NFTs, building out entire virtual worlds. But this quote, it's basically saying the party might be over. The monkey government, let's call it, is starting to look for its cut.
So yeah, the end of free bananas. This really gets to the core of a massive shift in how we even think about value. This isn't just, some boring new line item on a tax form. No, no, no. It represents that moment, that turning point, where stuff we could literally create or grab with just a few clicks is now being officially recognized as a real, tangible, and yeah, taxable asset.
Okay, so let's put a proper definition on this. What is the digital jungle tax? Well, it's this whole new category of taxes that's aimed squarely at these brand new digital goods. I mean, we're talking about assets that literally didn't even exist a decade ago. But now they're being given real world value. And sometimes that value is absolutely enormous. So what kind of digital bananas are we actually talking about here? Well, the main targets right now are things like AI-generated art and, of course, non-fungible tokens, NFTs. And you could see taxes pop up when you sell them, kind of like a sales tax, or maybe they get treated as capital gains if you sell them for a profit. But honestly, it's that last bullet point that you really got to pay attention to, other unique digital assets. That is a huge catch-all phrase. It's basically a placeholder for whatever crazy innovation comes next. All right, let's decode this a bit. To really get why there's such a backlash to this whole idea, we have to look at the psychology behind it all. I mean, why does this kind of tax feel so different, so much more personal than, say, a tax on gas? Well, the answer is literally wired right into our brains. And that brings us to this really key concept from behavioral economics, loss aversion. Here's the deal. Psychologically, the pain of losing something feels about twice as strong as the pleasure of gaining that exact same thing. So when you slap a new tax on a digital creation, it doesn't feel like you're contributing to society. It feels like a loss. It feels like someone is reaching right into your digital pocket and taking something that you felt was already yours. Here, think about it like this. On one side, you've got an expected cost, right? Like when your favorite streaming service raises its price by a couple of bucks. It's annoying, for sure, but you kind of see it coming. But on the other side, you have something like the digital jungle tax, a brand new, unexpected cost on something that you always thought of as free, something you might have even created yourself. That feeling of an unexpected loss, that's what triggers that really powerful gut feeling of unfairness. Okay, the psychology of loss. And look, this isn't just some abstract theory, right? It has very, very real consequences for your wallet. It's what's shaping the whole debate and explains that gut punch reaction people are having. So now let's take a look at how this could actually play out in the wider digital world. And check out this quote. This really brings the whole abstract idea crashing down into our daily lives. You see, the label could change. It could be called a digital services tax, or maybe something clever like an environmental tariff to account for server energy. But you know what? It doesn't matter what they call it. The outcome is the same. The simple act of participating in the digital world could just get more expensive. And this is the really crucial part. Even if you've never minted an NFT in your life, even if you couldn't care less about AI art, you could still feel the pinch. Why? Because these costs, they almost always get passed down to the consumer. The platforms that host all this stuff will probably raise their fees to cover the new taxes, transaction costs will go up, and yeah, your favorite online services and subscriptions, they might just get more expensive too. So what we're talking about here could fundamentally reshape what your internet bill looks like, or, that collection of digital subscription bills that adds up every month. The big takeaway is that this is not just some niche issue for crypto traders or fancy digital artists. Nope, this represents a brand new frontier for taxation that could end up affecting pretty much everyone online. Really, the digital jungle tax is so much more than just a single policy. It's a signal. It's marking the start of a whole new chapter where that line between our physical lives and our digital lives, well, it's blurring completely. And you got to remember, as more and more of what we value moves online, you can bet that governments are going to follow the And all of this, of course, leads us to the really big question. What's next to be taxed? If the new playbook is to just identify value out there on the digital frontier and then tax it, what does the future of this jungle actually look like? I mean, seriously, think about it. If AI-generated art and NFTs are the targets today, what about tomorrow? What about all those in-game items people buy with real money? Or the value of a huge social media influencer's personal brand? What about digital real estate and the metaverse? This is the question that's going to define our relationship with ownership and with value itself in the digital world for a long, long time.